So I would say the most common thing we get asked from people who are just meeting us for the first time at a trade show, or potential investors, or just people that are curious about just entrepreneurialism in general, is how did we start, or what's our story? I've gotten that question so many times. I thought it'd be kind of cool to just reminisce for a minute about where we came from. It actually started back in 2015. Maria was making bone broth. It was a recipe that she'd been, using from her grandmother for so many years. And I'd known Maria for a couple years, and every time we had it was always mind-blowing and fantastic, of course, as most of you know who have probably tried it. And Maria decided she wanted to try and take it into farmers markets and try to sell it. She told me about a company in New York that had been making bone broth and selling it into go cups, and they had made crazy amounts of money in a short period of time, and she thought, hey, this might be a good way for me to supplement my income. So I never took it totally seriously, but I investigated a bit, and we talked about being able to make it and having to wait in line to get into the farmers market, and how early in the morning you'd have to go, and all these sort of things that became barriers to some extent from doing it. A lot of effort and a lot of time goes into making bone broth, and it was really a question of how much money could you really make at the farmers market. So we kind of just let it go to the side because it didn't really look like it was going to be anything really amazing, but we thought, we'll put it on the back burner and see if we can learn anything about it. Anyway, then a few months later, I was at a party with some friends, and I was discussing with a buddy of mine this idea about bone broth and how it was so big in New York at this one place. And we really wanted to see if there was a way to do it, but it was just, super overwhelming. We were talking about how, it's potentially a meat product, and trying to get it into grocery would be a challenge, and so many other factors. It just seemed like something I couldn't do. And my friend Shane, who was there with me at the party, was sort of listening, and we chatted a bit about it. And then the next day he called me. It was probably around 2 p.m. and he said, Christian, I've been on the internet for the last 7 or 8 hours investigating this stuff, and I really think there's some potential for this to be like a legitimate business. It is just about to take off in the States, and I think we probably have something here. So I said, I trusted Shane. Shane had been in the grocery business already for many years, started a really successful coffee company based out of the States, using coffee beans from Jamaica with one of Bob Marley's sons, and they'd seen tremendous success. And so he said, hey, let me talk to some people that I know, and we'll look into getting some distribution and see if we can turn this into a thing. So we had a couple coffee meetings and came up with a fun design, some cool packaging. We'll probably show some pictures of some of our original packages, and went and talked to one of Shane's associates with Horizon Distributors. And long story short, within 4 months, we were nationwide. Pretty much every province and territory had our broths across the country. We did a beef and a chicken, and followed with a vegan broth. That one didn't do as well on shelves as it did in the trade shows, but we got to a point where we were pretty much a nationwide company, and we were the first ones to do it in Canada. So it was really exciting. Things were going crazy, and we're having such a blast. And we traveled across the country, going to trade shows and talking to retailers, and really got the name and the brand out there. And it's kind of been sort of an up and down journey since then. Definitely have some stories there, which we'll be sharing as time goes by. But what I can say is, it's been a long road. It's been a lot of work, and we couldn't be more proud of the product that we're making now, and we couldn't be happier with the team that we have, our partners, our brand managers, our distributors, our sales team, and then the team at BONED. Literally, we are so fortunate. We've got a great group of people around us, and I think we're creating a product currently that is killing it, and we're going to be expanding. We have several things coming up in the next 6 months that we're really excited about, and we're looking forward to sharing with everyone. So that's the BONED story.